Welcome everybody to the podcast called The Industry. I'm your host, your favorite bartender in the DFW. My name is Chris. This podcast will be out every Wednesday. Thank you guys for the patience. Thank you guys for the wait, for me taking this break, trying to get things together, have a better podcast and a better season for you guys. This is the first episode of the new topics and new things that we got going on. I got a special guest. I got a good friend of mine, a buddy of mine. Man, my boy Andrew, what's going on, man?
What's up, Chris? Chicago Chris, man. Been a long time, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man. Man, introduce yourself. Tell the word about you.
Well, before I introduce myself, man, I want to say I'm real proud of you, man, because back in the day during COVID, we were hooping outside. Things were tough. You used to tell me, man, I got this kind of dream. I got this vision about doing this podcast one day.
Oh, yeah.
This was years ago,
Yeah.
okay? And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that say they're going to do this or say they're going to do that. And then there's people that do it.
Yeah.
And so good job, my brother. I appreciate that,
Thank
man.
you.
That's good stuff right there.
Thank you.
Now, you know, you and I worked together for a few years during some tough times in the industry. I've been in the industry for 21 years with the company I'm with now.
Yeah.
A couple years prior to that with a small concept. But by far the most challenging time in those 21 years was the time that you and I were working together.
Oh, yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
We can say it out loud.
Yeah.
And
it was some challenging times around that time during COVID. It was.
yeah, I mean, you know, not just the financial aspect of the business, but the emotional aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people, both guests and employees, every single day that are going through things and working in conditions that are less than favorable. And there's a lot of uncertainty and unknown and anger. And it was tough, man. It was tough. The basketball is kind of what kept me sane through it, to be honest with you, like meeting up with you guys.
Oh, yeah, no, same thing, man. Meeting up every morning. Even though if I'll close, I'll still drove all the way out there to Wiley to come hoop with you guys.
Yes,
and I would drive up there, come hoop with you guys. And I'm like, yeah, I got to go because I got to work this shift too.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And you were like taking showers at a gym that you had a membership app somewhere in between.
Yeah, Planet Fitness.
Yeah, because they had closed all the indoor courts, but they kept the showers open. So we were playing outdoor, and then you were going to shower at the gym. So
yeah. I loved it, man, because it's like you said, that kept me sane, and it just you introduced me to a lot of group of great guys, and you know I still keep in contact with them, and you know me and Lee still meet up. Like I think it's the second Saturday every month. You know we still do that, and that I'm glad that you introduced. I'm glad that Erskine introduced us in each other's lives, man, because you've been there for me through some ups and a lot of downs, and you stuck it through with me and mentored me and helped me out through that. So
you know, we got a lot of our waves cross. You know, and we're not going to get into all that, but you know what I'm talking about. And you know, the same thing. It's kind of funny how things work out that way.
Yeah.
And that second Saturday thing, I've been down there a couple times with my son. My beans and rice are always down there.
Yeah.
At the event, you know. So, but I've been keeping up with you, and I know you keep up with Lee, and we got to get that back fixed so you can get back out there so I can bust your ass a little bit. All right?
Oh, come on. They call me, they call me Baby MJ on the court. You know, I'm lying. So. No, one of the first topics I wanted to get into, you know, we both come from the industry. We both seen a lot of crazy things. So this topic is called the craziest stories that you have. So name me one of the top two craziest situations that you've seen or been in this industry.
You know, I was thinking about that on the drive here, and it's really hard to narrow it down, Chris, because I mean, you were there when they tried to assault our safe.
Oh my God!
Right,
yes.
and so for the record, I have refused to replace that safe because I mean it still functions and it's secure, but I'm like that's battle tested, and I'm keeping that scar on.
Oh yeah,
safe.
for real.
So to give our audience kind of an idea of what I'm talking about, we have a safe in the restaurant, which all restaurants do, which the servers deposit their cash in, and depending on your pickup schedule. I mean, there could be anywhere. There can be up to 10 G's in that thing at one time, especially at the restaurant we were working at.
Yeah, it was like
high volume, high cash. And so one night, the alarm trips off, cops show up when they show up. right? We all get together the next day to watch the film. They had busted open the window, 2 dudes. And they came in. I think they started with a sledgehammer, right, Chris?
Yeah, they started off with a sledgehammer.
And that didn't work. So one guy goes back out to the truck and comes back with a saw. What kind of saw was it? I mean,
like a
chainsaw.
No, I think it was like one of those saws that I think you like, not like a tree, but like a 2x4 wood kind of look like that.
Yes. So and sparks are flying. And you remember his butt crack was showing, and he's getting after it, and he's sitting there and he's trying to cut this thing open, and he failed, and didn't get anything, and they eventually just gave up and ran out the restaurant, and that there is I would say a 10 to 12 inch gash in the side of that safe still today.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a picture of it this week. Okay. It's still there. And they didn't get a damn thing. And then I think it was 2 to 3 days later, you sent me a video from the office of that location with the dude that like in 3 seconds knocked the window open.
Oh yeah.
And grabbed that bag out of the back of that car in the middle of the day. Remember that, Chris?
Yeah.
I mean, he walked up and just went pop and was gone.
Yeah. I was like, what? Because that guy came in there. He was like, hey man, I think you guys need to be responsible for this. I'm like, I don't think that's our problem. Like, somebody breaks into your car, how are we responsible for that? That's just how I felt at the time. It's in the parking lot, but how you gonna try to sue us?
Well, you can't. That's just frustration.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. Those things happen. But watching that video, man, that was a pro. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing, and it almost makes me feel like he knew exactly who he was hitting.
Yeah.
Because that parking lot was full. And he walked right up to that car and just
So he must have did something. Probably slept with his girl. Who knows? He did something for that man.
It's probably just a pair of dirty drawers in that bag. Nothing else. He just wanted to break his window.
Oh yeah. But that first thing with the safe.
Yeah.
When we saw that video, it got me thinking: where's the police at? Why does this man feel like he can just walk back and forth like this, like it's not a care in the world? Where's the police at? Why did it take them so long?
Do you really want me to tell you?
No, I already know.
You already know? You want me to say? Okay, so
look at that air.
So a struggle of COVID. Everybody's trying to pinch pennies and dollars, and the person that was in charge of managing our alarm systems at the time made the decision to not have them monitored.
Oh.
And so the alarm was going off, but it wasn't pinging the local PD. And it almost feels like they knew that because they were in the building for 7 minutes. If you remember, I mean,
they was in there for a while.
Changing tools. Pants were falling down. He's pulling them back up.
Walking back out.
Fat ass was crawling out the window that he broke when he came in. There's those bushes.
Didn't they try to lift up the safe too?
Yeah, they tried to lift, but that was bolted into the ground.
I don't think they knew that part, but I remember they tried. Yeah. That was funny. That was funny. But I think one of the crazy things, two of the craziest things I saw, but the first one is the location that we worked at. It was a walk outside. They had the whole place surrounded, like literally just surrounded off. And they had a helicopter down, pointing. I'm like, man, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I worked at the Louisville one. That was we had problems, but it was just that one thing. I'd never been to Mesquite, never like hung out in Mesquite. When y'all told me I was going to Mesquite, I'm like, oh man, I'm going to a nice neighborhood. No. That neighborhood is, yeah.
Well, I was like, man, this dude's from Chicago. He's not going to know any better,
Yeah. It was those apartments across.
Yeah.
That something happened, and I guess it was something that happened. But they had, because Garland is right next to it, Mesquite, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
they had Garland,
yeah.
PD, they had Mesquite PD, Dallas PD, and the helicopter out.
So what was remind me, what was the situation that night? They were looking for a fugitive, right? They were looking
they was looking for somebody that I forgot what it was, but they was looking for somebody. But I remember no one can leave the parking lots.
Yeah.
At all. And I was like, man, what the hell? That was like one of the crazy ones. And another one was when before I worked with you, I was working at the job beforehand. I remember somebody broke into the store, and I pull up. I'm like, damn, what happened to our front window? And I asked the worker, his name was G. I'm like, hey G, what happened to the window? Did you see this? He like, nah, man, I ain't see that. I'm like, you been sitting right here. How you not see the window? So we didn't go inside and calling the police because clearly somebody broke in. And the cop asked me, he was like, what he say? He like, did you guys go in there and check and see if any in there? Hell no, that ain't my job. That's your job. That's why I called you. And then and we go on the camera and see, I think it was an employee that we just let go that came in there and tried to break into the safe. Only thing he stole was some liquor bottles because he couldn't get into our safe.
So that seems to be more and more common these days as restaurants, and it's a good thing. They're partnering up with better safe companies, and a lot of those safe companies will insure the cash once it's deposited inside the actual unit itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so it makes sense. I mean, back in 05 and 04, we had people coming in ripping our TVs off the walls. Okay, that doesn't happen anymore because the value of those have dropped so much.
Yeah, the value of TVs dropped. Yeah,
right. But oftentimes, Chris, man, when you have these robberies now, it is an inside job, whether it's a current employee, former employee, or even a vendor, because you have so little time and so much security to get through for honestly such a little bit of cash. I mean, you know how it is. Restaurants don't keep.
They think we keep millions.
No, I mean, at the most, I mean, it depends on the concept
and the location.
But I mean, anywhere from 2 to 20 G's tops. Okay, and you're risking 20 years for that, right? But the scary ones, though, are the ones where they come in when people are still in the building. And so, you know, my first week doing the multi-unit thing, it is Wednesday night. I'm on my 3rd day of the job. I got a call from one of my locations, and they had been robbed at gunpoint. And the guy had come in, and he's like shaking as he's holding the gun. And you know that tells you everything. He's probably high or something, right? Which is scary.
Yeah. And you don't know anything.
And we have a manager, closing server, closing bartender, like 2 cooks, and he puts them all in the office. And he's just, you know, and he has them empty out the safe. There's like $2,700 in there, and then he leaves, and nobody was hurt. But like those are the ones that keep me up at night because your people are involved.
Yeah. And
you know, money is money. It's insured. Yeah. It is what it is.
But yeah, I get you.
But it's not worth anyone getting hurt over. So
yeah, that happened to us. But I left. Like I opened, but it was like a busy Cowboys game, so I ended up staying, helping my kitchen crew out. And as I was helping them out, I left because started dying out. I to this day still think that was an inside job because how did they know that we had this back door open to take out the trash at this time, at this certain time? It's only you have to work there to know that we had the back door open. And it was about like 6 or 7 guys come in there, and they had everybody up at gunpoint, and they took the money out the safe. And you know how much money they took out of the safe? It's like out of those 7 guys, they only split like $150.
$150?
Yes.
A piece?
Yes. I was like, man, if you needed money that bad, I could have hired you to come work. You would have made more.
Yeah.
Than doing that. So I remember because I came in and the GM was there that morning, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "You usually not here." And he was like, "We got robbed." I was like, "Man, stop playing." And he like, "No, we really did." I'm like, "Man, stop playing." And he opened up the safe. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we got robbed!" And he showed me the video, and I was like, "Dang!" And the killer part that got me is the manager had her hand right there where the button is.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't press it. And we asked her, why didn't you press it? And she said, well, I don't want to be held hostage. I'm like, I don't think it works. Like, you're going to be held hostage. They not about to surround the place and bring out the microphones and say, come out with your hands up. Like, they going to bust in here. But everybody was safe. I'm glad about that. He took everybody's phone and threw it in the dumpsters. But I'm just glad everybody was safe, but it was just tripped me out. This one guy, one of the cooks, was in the office when they got held up for gunpoint. He slid his phone up his sleeve so he wouldn't snatch everybody's phone. And then instead of him calling the cops afterwards, he just looked around like lost. I'm like, man, call the cops.
And he didn't do that because he was trying to call the cops. He did that because he didn't want to lose his phone. You know, he just got the upgrade, you know, a new case, you know, and he's like, no, he's not taking this, man.
He had an Android. It was you can get rid of that, man. That ain't no big deal on that. You could have just stuck with it. You could have just, if it was a new iPhone, I got it. But an Android, come on, man, you can get rid of that.
Right.
But yeah, that was probably one of the, you know, craziest moments that I had, like that I've seen, that I can like come up top of my head right now that I, you know, can think of. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more, but you know, those are the two top craziest stories.
Well, I mean, you know, look, I mean, it depends what you classify as crazy. You know, I mean, if you're in this industry long enough, you see and experience just about everything.
Yeah.
What we just discussed, the location that you worked at, with the one we were talking about downstairs that just moved south.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they've had some things going on there that would blow your mind recently with that hotel behind them. Remember the hotel?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And you know, she's pulling up to work one morning, 7 a.m., and there's a dude hanging out the window, hanging out the window, just dangling there, dead. Okay, and you know, it first went from maybe it was a suicide to no, this was a murder. Okay, you know, they've got that that elevated deck. And, you know, the police were chasing somebody one night, fired a couple caps at him because, you know, they couldn't get him. And then they followed the blood trail under that deck and found him under there. All right. So, so you've got that. And then you've got the people side of it.
Yeah.
The people side of it, you know, and you experience a lot of things along the way with tragedy. And, you know, I dealt with a situation very recently, and I was like on my secondhand counting of a suicide, you know, an employee suicide. And you start, you know, you get to a certain point when you get into a certain position where you're dealing with this more than you should be,
mm-hmm.
where you start to kind of get somewhat numb to it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, I know what you mean.
You know,
I know what you mean.
But it's, I think when you're in an industry that it's the number one industry in America and employs more people than any other industry. It also traditionally carries a high turnover rate for multiple reasons, right?
Yeah.
We recognize that we're a stepping stone for most people onto something else. First job in high school, college job onto something else. And for many, like me, like you, it's a career.
Yeah.
So you've got a good churn there. And so, you know, if you've got 50 employees on a store roster, well, over the course of the year, those 50 positions could be the equivalent of 150 people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and that's a lot of people. And over time, you experience it all. I mean, you experience, you know, what we just talked about. You experience addictions. You experience, you know, a lot of people that go through personal things in their life that kind of come into work.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody to guide them or point them in the right direction. And so, you know, crazy is crazy. But I would say that from a life experience perspective, this industry has shown me or taught me more than any industry could, because there is really nothing that could get thrown in my lap at this point
mm-hmm.
that I don't feel like I could be equipped to handle. And I think you know what I'm probably talking about. It doesn't make it easy. You know, and it doesn't mean that I go home and sleep well at night, but it's like, okay, let's roll up our sleeves and let's figure this out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. That's one thing I noticed. This industry taught me a lot of patience,
mm-hmm.
taught me how to, you know, deal with a lot of things. Because like you said, we deal with a lot going on and a lot of different personalities, a lot of different people, you know, employees and guest-wise. And it just showed me how to always keep a level-headed, especially, you know, being in the management position, because I always, and I still believe to this day, that if you don't keep a level head and your employees see that, then everything just goes to chaos from there. You know, how did they looking at you for guidance to keep them calm? And I've seen and witnessed, and me being like an employee being, oh my gosh, I'm in the weeds. I'm like, yo, relax. We're gonna get through this. It's gonna be okay. I'm like I just say it's never that deep, man. We just slinging food, and that's it. We not out here trying to be a brain surgeon. We just taking orders, putting in, and taking them out to them. Like if we busy, all you got to do is just maintain that, go on the weight. And with that, when you go on the weight, and I'm glad we brought this up, and people who are watching this, you can understand why people go on the weight at times. Because sometimes people call in, we can't control that. We might have 2 cooks call in or 2 servers call in, so now we got to shorten the restaurant. And then 2 cooks call in, and now we got all the service and we got a full restaurant, but we low on the back of the house staff, so that means more food tickets are coming in. And the reason that I like to go on the wait when that happens is I want to have guests experience a good time. I'd rather for you to be mad and say, hey man, they was busy enough to sit me, or then you sit down, you like, man, I sat down for 2 hours, I ain't get my food, and it came out cold.
Yeah, but you're exactly right. I mean, it sounds very familiar with the language that we equipped ourselves with during that time of, I'd rather you be a little frustrated with me now than really mad at me later.
Yeah.
Right? And you're absolutely right. And, I'm glad you brought up that point about the level head. You're one of the most level-headed managers I've ever worked with, for real. And I mean, I was there that day. I was there that day where I've never seen this before, but a black dude called you racist. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kind of looked at me and you're like, did you just hear that? I'm like, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Yeah.
But, you're right. And I think there's so many correlations, man, between the restaurant industry and sports. There really is. And, if the staff, the team, looks at the leader and he's in a state of chaos and freaking out, that's going to trickle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. In those moments where nothing is going right, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Because everything you just described is part of the industry these days.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID changed the industry forever.
Yeah.
And nothing ever goes off as it's scripted. And so great leaders, managers, know how to kind of take that, kind of deal with it, compartmentalize it, put a plan together, and let's just say, let's go do the best that we can. And sometimes that means making decisions that guests don't understand and don't agree with, but you got to talk to them and explain it to them. And I've always erred on the side of just be honest with them and explain it to them, and I think that they'll understand.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the 2% that doesn't understand, fuck them.
That's how I look at it. I look at it like when the staff say, why you not upset? Why you not get frustrated? I'm like, man, they about to leave soon, so they not about to be here forever. I'm not about to have them ruin the rest of my day because they upset. I'm like, I get it. It is what it is. I'm like, I look at it, and the reason I stay calm, it is what it is, man. I can't if I can't control it, if it's outside of my four walls, it's something I can't control, or if I know I did the best I can, and I gave it my all, that's all I can ask for, and I'm not about to let it ruin me, because then if that start going down that hole, then this ain't the industry for me, and not even that. That's life, man. Like, I'm not about to let no one ruin my day at all. I just try to keep a level head. Even though I do get pissed off, it's like for like legit 10 minutes. Like, I never stay mad longer than that. Like, you can even ask my girl, like, we can get into it. She'd go off on me, and then I'll be mad. But then 10 minutes later, I'm like, come on now, let me see that smile. Because it's no point in staying.
I bet you had to do a lot of apologizing and stuff, though.
Yeah. The best quote I heard was from this show called True Detective, and I stuck by that with what's his name? Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
He said, I don't hold grudges. I don't get upset. I feel like that shit causes cancer. So that's how I always lived my life, just like that when I heard that.
But what about the scene where he found his daughter in the car with those two dudes? He held a grudge there.
Yeah, but see, I don't try to. I try to bypass that. I try to bypass that. I just try to.
That's different. That's not. We have daughters. We know.
Yeah,
like, that's different. We'll put that
that's
to the
a whole
side.
different thing. But that's how I like to live by. But one thing I like to also bring up, and this might make you mad. What's up with the Mavericks?
Well, I had a feeling we were going to talk about this. I don't know. I mean, so first of all, you're supposed to win your home games. So Boston did that. They were they the number one seed in the East? I think they were. Okay.
I think they're the number one seed in the NBA.
So they did what they were supposed to do. Last night's more disappointing to me for two reasons, really. One, we out-rebounded them. Two, they did not shoot well from the three. And so, game one, in my opinion, they outplayed us.
Yeah.
KP came out and pulled something out.
Oh, my gosh. They need to check that man for steroids or something.
We knew I thought Jaylen Brown was going to be the X factor all along. Jaylen Brown's going to do what he does. I think Tatum has been a little bit kind of underwhelming, but okay. We
I got something for you with that Tatum.
But what's really been disappointing is the fact that we haven't been able to capitalize on the mistakes that they've made, and they made some mistakes last night, and we just could not take advantage of it. You get this deep in the run in the finals, if you're not taking advantage of those small mistakes that the other team has given you, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Now, we're coming back to Dallas, and we're going to have to handle our business. And, it's not looking good, but I'm not going to give up on them. I think that I don't know what's up with Kyrie. I'm a big Kyrie fan.
It's something with him in Boston. I don't know if it gets in his head or what. Like, he does not play well when he plays against Boston.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to put it all on him. I think that the rest of the supporting cast has got to step up.
P.J. Washington.
P.J. Washington hasn't played his best. Luka had 8 turnovers last night. You can't do that.
He cries too much for me.
He does, and the thing about it is, it's more than just the theatrics of it. It's that at a certain point, if you're that invested into the arguing, you're letting it affect you up here as well.
Yep.
And so that's the part that concerns me with him as a young man, as a young player, is are you able to go have that little beef with the referee and then flip it off and go hoop? And I don't know if he is yet at this point in his career. But I also think that he needs a little bit of help right now. And he got that help in those the Minnesota series was beautiful. I mean, everybody was contributing on our team.
Oh, yeah. I thought that series was I'm not going to lie. I thought Minnesota was going to do it. But to me, I feel like Minnesota needs a different big man. I don't think Cat's that guy. He plays too soft to be that big.
Well, they got Rudy.
Yeah, but Cat plays too soft.
I mean, Cat to me is not a traditional big man, though. He's big in stature.
Yeah.
But he plays on the perimeter and likes to, he's Rudy Gobert is supposed to be their rim protector big.
But he wasn't playing like that.
No, he wasn't playing like that. Because the thing about Rudy is Rudy can kind of get trapped in that pick and roll and get sucked out.
Yeah.
And then with a team like the Mavericks that can penetrate, kick, or now with those two bigs that they have, Gabbard and Lively, penetrate and lob, Rudy was getting exposed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Cat likes to stay out on the perimeter and his feet don't leave the ground when he shoots that three.
Yeah.
I hate Cat, man.
He plays way too soft for me.
I got a couple other theories about Cat that we're not going to get into in this podcast, but he has a weird vibe about him that just don't make any sense.
My favorite moment with Cat is when Ben Simmons choked him out and he tapped out.
There you go. All right, we got a name for that.
That was
Ben Simmons of all people.
Yeah, for real. I don't even think he's in the lead anymore.
No.
Oh damn.
He might be on a bench somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. No, he had back surgery, so he didn't play this season. But
okay.
But what I was gonna say, but Jason Tatum, the statement you said about Jason Tatum, I feel like Jason Tatum took that I'm the face of this, team role, and then it's not about that. I think he's more a team player now. It's not all about him. He wants the ball now. Because if you look at his assists, they've gone up. His rebounders have gone up. He's passing the ball a lot more. I think that's what makes him more efficient now. And I think a lot of people thought he was going to be what Jaylen Brown is, which he was, but they wasn't winning when he was doing that. And he found out, this is just my opinion, and I feel like he found out that he can be that guy, still score, but be more of a team player and pass the ball. And Jaylen Brown stepped up a lot, and that's why I feel like they're dominating right now. And I feel like if I feel like if the Mavericks lose Wednesday, that's it. Y'all might win one more game, but on 5 y'all go back to Boston and they're 3-1. That's it. Y'all not gonna pull no LeBron.
No, I agree with you. And you're coming on Jason Tatum. I don't disagree with that. Jason Tatum's a great player.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's a
for
really
sure.
good all-around player.
Mhm.
And if he truly has changed his approach to the game for the reasons that you stated, that speaks to a level of maturity where he understands it's not just about me. If I want to win championships,
Yeah.
I've got to do. I mean, I got a lot of good players around me, and championship basketball teams gets everybody involved, right? The thing about Jason Tatum with me is that he misses a lot of open looks, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
he
the only,
does.
but I don't want to discredit Jason Tatum. He's a great basketball player. He does all the other things right on the court. The team is winning. He doesn't need to be that individual elite scorer because he's got the supporting cast. But Jaylen Brown, when he's got the ball, he's got that killer instinct in his eye, man. Like
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, if I could pick one person off the team, I would pick Jaylen Brown, to be honest. Who would you take?
I'm taking Jaylen Brown too. I like his form when he shoots. That dude got his man, like he just I knew that dude was gonna be a stud when I think they played on Christmas. I forgot, it was like a couple years ago, like 3-4 years ago. This one I was still when we was working together.
Yeah.
I think they played on Christmas. And I'm like, bro, this dude's gonna be a beast. Everybody's talking about Tatum. I'm like, nah, man. I think this dude right here, and people used to discredit him, say, no, it's Jason Tatum's better. I'm like, man, I think Jaylen Brown's that boy, and he became that boy.
He's also cerebral,
Oh my,
extremely
yeah,
intelligent.
yes,
And you can tell on the court he knows where he's supposed to be. He does those little things that don't show up in a stat box. He gets in the lane of a pass that was there and then it's not there. He tips a ball. He hustles. He's not afraid to hit the deck for a loose ball.
yeah,
He knows how to use his body well. I mean, the intangibles.
yeah,
The things that don't show up on the stat sheet is why I think. I mean, I texted my entire family and her before the series, and I said Jaylen Brown is the X factor. Tatum's going to do his thing. Porzingis will have a flash here or two. Hopefully, no more. He's already had that. I think he's hurt, by the way.
again.
Yeah, again, exactly. But Jaylen Brown's the X factor.
Mm.
So man, we'll see. I mean, it's been a fun ride. It's not over. Boston did what they were supposed to do. We got 2 in Dallas. We got to do what we're supposed to do, and we'll see.
Yeah, because like I said, if this Wednesday, if they lose, that is it for the series.
I mean, I agree. 3-0. I mean,
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
And only reason I'm like they went up there is because my boy Kawhi Leonard is like one of my favorite players, but he is one of the worst superstars of all time. But he's still my favorite player. It's just like you stay hurt, man. You stay hurt. Like
he's got a very unlikable personality, Chris. Like, what is it about him, man?
But he can hoop.
No, yeah, but he can't be a superstar. He can be a great basketball player. He is a great basketball player.
Mm.
But if you want to be a superstar in the league, you gotta have a personality, man. Look at Steph Curry, been doing all these commercials,
Yeah.
and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, really, like, if he invited you to dinner, what would y'all talk about?
Hey, believe it or not, a lot of people say he's like one of the funniest people on the team.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
They say that he's one of the funniest people because they say that he has a dry sense of humor.
Okay, it might be true.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just one of those dudes, man. I don't know.
I think he's just like Marshawn Lynch for how,
No, Marshawn Lynch is hilarious, man.
Yeah, but when he was
Yeah.
playing in the NFL before he showed that personality, when he was playing, he was just strictly about football and just that. And like
Yeah.
he didn't want to be in the media really, but ever since he retired. Now that man's in the media. He's funny.
I mean, if Kawhi Leonard comes out in retirement and starts doing these little game shows or whatever, like Marshawn is doing, all right, I'll come back on your show here and I'll admit I was wrong. I don't know, man. He's I don't, maybe because of all his time with San Antonio. That's why I hate him so much, man. You know, but he's busted our ass many a time for sure.
Oh yeah. So. And speaking about basketball players busting ass, what do you think about Caitlin Clark?
Man, so this is an interesting storyline, man. So Caitlin Clark, for me, first of all, we have daughters.
Mm-hmm.
How's yours doing, by the way?
She's doing great. Yours?
Great. Does she hoop? Does your daughter play?
Nah, man. She's more want to be a dancer, like a ballet dancer.
Good for her. So my daughter played for the first time this past winter. She loves it. All right. So as a father, I mean, I think it's great that more attention is being shown on women's basketball.
Oh yeah.
The first women's basketball game I ever watched in my life, and I love basketball, was that national championship game between Iowa and LSU. Yeah. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Yeah, and LSU won. I don't know about you. Have you watched a lot of women's?
Oh yeah, I let you finish. Like we got you into it, then I'll tell you how I got into it.
Oh, okay.
It was because of Caitlin Clark too.
Okay, cool. All right, so my thoughts on this are, I got multiple. I mean, I think that the WNBA and the players need to embrace the opportunity of this driving force or catalyst or whatever you want to call it that's bringing more attention and revenue to this league. And it's a league where they have phenomenal athletes that have worked their tails off their whole life.
A'ja Wilson.
Yes, A'ja Wilson. Okay. So the top 10 WNBA players make anywhere between the top 10, $252,000 a year for number 1. Number 10 makes like $209,000. If you look at the shoe signings over the course of the years, you go back, Cheryl Swoops had a deal, Lisa Lobo, some familiar names. But in the last 10 years, there's only been a couple of them. And there hasn't been any African-American women in the last 10 years until A'ja Wilson. Yes. Yeah. And so Caitlin Clark gets drafted number 1, which, by the way, she was great in college.
Yeah.
Her professional career has been questionable so far, but she's still averaging like 16, 5, and 6. Yeah. It's not trash. But she signs 8 for $28 with Nike, right?
Yeah.
And now shoe deals are starting to drop for all these others.
So she's opening up a lot of doors. She's
opening up doors. Attendance. Let's talk about attendance.
Yeah.
Her team, what is it, the Indiana Fever?
Yep.
They're 3-9. They're not good. They're averaging 18,000 fans a game. Do you know what our Dallas Mystics are averaging down the street here?
7.
6.
You're
close.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she's bringing in the revenue. Viewership has increased on the WNBA app by 600%. Viewership has increased across the affiliates of ABC, ESPN, etc., by 213%. Viewership engagement has increased by 60% by the minority communities.
Yeah.
So people are tuning in. Now, why are they tuning in? That's a whole nother discussion. And I want to hear your thoughts. So I'm gonna pass the mic. But I think it would be wise and prudent for fans of the WNBA and players of the WNBA to embrace the attention and the revenue. It doesn't mean you have to like her. It doesn't mean you have to worship the ground she walks on. She's going to either have a career or she's not.
Yeah.
But, now they left her off Team USA. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard about that.
I'd love to hear your thoughts, though.
So what got me into women's basketball was Caitlin Clark, one of her games. But I've been a fan of Paige Bunkers. And I remember when we was working together, I remember South Carolina win against UConn.
Mm-hmm.
And South Carolina blew UConn out the water. But I did like Paige Bunkers, but I wasn't, tuning into it like that. But it was one game, I think she went against Michigan. And she was lighting. I didn't have nothing to watch. It was nothing on. I was just at home, watching it. And then she was
Caitlin.
I'm like, who the hell is this? She's like a female Steph. So I'm like, what? So then I'm like, okay. Then I watched another game she's going off. I'm like, this girl's cold. Like for a woman, like I never seen this before. I'm not saying women can't play, but I never seen that style.
Right.
How she played for a woman. And I'm like, man. So I started tuning in, but then I fell off. Then it was I think another one. She hit a game winner against Indiana. And I was like, yeah, I started tuning in a lot more after that. And I made sure I started watching a lot of her games. And then I remember I was telling a lot of people when they went against South Carolina in the Final Four. I'm like, bro, this is the person y'all need to watch out. No one really talking about her or anything like that just yet. People was talking about her, but she's not as big as she is. Me personally, I feel like what got her to that moment is you beat a 36-0 South Carolina team and you score 41 points and like 10 assists or something like that and like 8 rebounds. And I was like, she did that. She took a team that Iowa, come on now, Iowa,
Right.
Who goes to Iowa?
Offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's all. Tight ends or George Kittle, some more other tight ends.
Yeah, centers.
Yeah. But besides that, no one sits here and say they want to go to Iowa. She took a team, a whole university, and put it on the map, and that's like what kind of frustrates me. I get it. It's the competitor and people. You got to show. But I hate like when other women from like UConn say, "Well, I went to four national." Look where you went. You went to UConn, one of the best, basketball programs, especially in women. Of course, you got like 4 5-star on your team. How many 4 or 5 stars she has? No one can really even name me more than 3 players off of Iowa.
I can name you one, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
So what's up? So what's up with all the hate she's getting?
Me personally, I really think it's the media that's blowing it up more than what it is. And with that media that's blowing it up, I think it just makes it seem like people kind of hate her. I think it is jealousy. Don't get me wrong. It is jealousy that's in there. It's it's human nature, man. Like I would feel some type of way if I played for this many years and nothing. People talking about this is what she's doing this. She's doing this. She's better than everybody. She's gonna light it up. Never thought one time she was gonna light it up when she came to the WNBA, especially her rookie year. I always said she wasn't gonna be that great her rookie year because how women basketball is. The last game was like on the 7th. They got drafted on the 4th, and they played preseason on the 3rd. You don't even have time to adjust. You don't even have time to practice. You don't even have time to get with your team, come up with schemes, and a lot of people saying that her rookie year is bad. I'm like, yeah, look at how many games they played. They played like 12 games, where some people only played like 6.
Yeah.
So they squeezing their money out of her right now, and she's still doing a lot better than like what Steph did his rookie year. What who else didn't have a great rookie year? Like even with football, Peyton Manning, his rookie year, ran through like 28 interceptions, came with stud after that. Not a lot of people do great their rookie year because it's like you adjust into something that's different. It's moving faster. It's like it's more competitors. Now you got the best of the best. You don't got people just doing this for the fun because they want an education and things. You got grown women like trying to play shit in that league. The WNBA is one of the hardest leagues to be in. A first rounders get cut. That's crazy. Like a first rounder won't make the team. When have you heard of that in NBA? That's not happening. You a first rounder, you're playing. Football, you're a first rounder, you're playing. It might take a couple of years for them to drop you, or you gonna come off the bench or anything. But they're not making the team as a first rounder because it's not that many people that's looking, not enough revenue and things. So, and it sucks. And to me, she's the Michael Jordan of the WNBA because you had Magic Johnson and Larry Bird that, really took the game to another level. And people say that they're hating on him, but if you really think about it, when MJ came in, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird was saying the same thing about MJ. But then they showed that he can play, and he stepped up his game, and he started winning, scoring. Then that's when they showed him his respect. It's basically like a respect thing. I need you. Yeah, people can talk about it, but you got to show me if you can do this. You got to show me. Put up the points. Put up the numbers. Show me. Get through the hard times. How you gonna mentally get out of that? Show me. Prove it to me. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. And she still has a lot to prove. I mean, first of all, you got to win. You can't be 3-9 and
but that team's ass too.
That team is ass. But you brought up a topic that I'd like to piggyback off of, because the Larry Bird and the Magic Johnson, okay, 1979, they're the two best players in college basketball, right? Michigan State, Indiana State. One of them is a dorky looking white guy with short shorts, and then there's Magic, right? And they're two completely different dudes. And the media drove that narrative, right?
Yeah.
So much so that it caused this kind of this created animosity between them that went on to the court, okay? And then in the national championship game, Larry Bird beat Magic Johnson.
Yep.
And Magic Johnson never forgot about that. Meanwhile, he gets drafted by LA, okay, and Dr. Buss is trying to create the Showtime Lakers. If you've seen that show, they really do a really good job of depicting that.
Yeah, they did.
And, we're going to put hip-hop music in, okay, we're going to have cheerleaders. Wait, what? Laker girls, Paula Abdul. Okay, we're going to have celebrities sitting on the sideline. And, oh, yeah, over there on the East Coast with the coach with the big cigar in his mouth, they're going to have Larry Bird. And we're going to create this rivalry, this East Coast, West Coast, white guy versus black guy, two great basketball players rivalry. And the smartest thing those two dudes ever did was they played the business part of that. And they competed on the court, but they were friends off the court, man.
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately, Magic got 5 rings and Larry got 3. And when Magic got diagnosed with HIV, the first person that called him was Larry Bird. And they talked for an hour. And they both shed tears. They love each other, okay? But they changed the game. They made them their careers. They made a lot of money, okay, because they understood not just the competitive aspect of it, but the business aspect of it.
Yep.
And if Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark could understand that and do that with the WNBA, the league minimum is $64,000.
They be making a killing.
The league minimum is $64,000. So the girl that's coming off the bench, like the 6th best player, the 7th best player, if she gets married and has a couple of kids, at a certain point, she's got to make a decision. Is this the right career for me? Because I got to put kids through college.
Yeah.
I'm traveling half the year and I'm making $64,000 a year. Okay, if you can transcend the game and bring more revenue in, and now the league minimum goes up to like $200,000 and the stars are making $1 million. Well, that's better for everybody. The league stays more competitive.
Yep.
Okay. So I really wish that cooler heads would prevail here and people would take a step back and understand that it's bigger than just like the personalities and this drama and whatever ESPN is trying to kind of cook up in that pot. Okay. If we want to bring more attention to this great sport, okay, that a bunch of little girls across America love and want to play, okay, then we need to figure out a way to make this work.
Yeah.
Okay. And right now it seems like everybody's trying to drive a wedge in it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely feel that way. And I feel like, man, this is a business. Like, like Caitlin Clark's the face. I like the whole USA team. She might not have to be the best on there, but get her. You know how much money that's going to bring?
Kristen Leitner.
Like, come on.
Remember Kristen Leitner?
Yeah.
On the Dream Team?
Yeah.
He had no business being on the Dream Team. Shaq didn't make the Dream Team. But they put Kristen Leitner on there because he was the best yes, exactly. In college basketball at the time. And they wanted white people to tune in and watch the Dream Team too. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay? That made sense. There's no Christian Laettner had no business being on that team out besides Shaq. Okay, we all know that.
Yeah.
All right, but we all had Dream Team posters in our bedrooms too, didn't we?
Yeah.
And everybody knows who the Dream Team is, even if you're not a basketball fan.
Yeah. I just feel like the WNBA, they need to get a better marketing team and stuff like this, so they can. And everybody knows Caitlin Clark is, believe it or not, hate it or not, don't care if you've been in the league 6 years, it's okay. That is the person that opening up them doors for you guys. Yeah, they was in talk for charter flights for a while, but guess who took them charter? Guess who came in the lead and made that happen?
Who?
Caitlin Clark. You think they're going to let her walk through a normal airport? You know how many people will surround her?
Exactly.
And try to come at her? No, we got to take charter flights. Boom. Like, man, she is opening up these doors. And the thing about her, she doesn't say nothing on social media. She doesn't say nothing bad about nobody. She doesn't, come at nobody with disrespect. Only thing she sits here and say, she praises everybody. And only thing she says, like, I just want to compete and be a better competitor and play. That's it.
I mean, she's definitely taking the high road, especially with that whole little Kennedy. What was her name?
Kennedy Carter.
Kennedy Carter took that little cheap shot. And first of all, in a competitive sport, like, those things happen. You and I both know that. I think that was an example of what you said earlier about the media kind of taking that and kind of blowing it up. Yeah, I mean, it was dirty, but I mean, we've all done that to each other at some point. I mean, but I think that the way that Caitlin Clark is different is that her style of play is exciting because she shoots the three, right? And so some people are like, well, how come Brittany Griner didn't get all this love? Brittany Griner was boring, man. She stood under the basket and hit layups. I mean, we've never seen a player like this before. She's very Steph-like. They say Steph changed the game. Like, taking, oh my God, this guy's pulling up 25 times from three in one game. Like, we've never seen this before.
Yeah.
And so that, the three ball is exciting. Home run ball is exciting. Hail Marys are exciting.
Oh,
that's what people tune in for, man.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people like, what you call it, like Patrick Mahomes, because the way he runs and throws the ball, it's exciting.
Exactly.
That's why like a lot of people like Aaron Rodgers, the way how he pinpoints and throw them Hail Mary is exciting.
You remember the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa home run chase back in the day?
It was exciting.
It was exciting, yes.
Like, that's why a lot of people didn't like watching the Patriots, because they were boring.
Exactly. But they were winning.
Yeah, they were winning. But a lot of people said they were boring, but they were winning. Like, they want to see excitement. And I get that. And I get it. I get that. But we got to get on to the next topic. So, one of the biggest things about this, one of the biggest things that's going on that I noticed a lot of people love is Would You Rather.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So you didn't prep me for this, man.
Yeah, I try to not, get throwing people off, have a big thing, come off the heart. And sorry, somebody, it's important. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man.
Yeah. Would you rather can make sure everybody is cured from blindness, or would you take $30 million in your pocket?
How many people are blind?
Let's say 30. And you can cure
30 people total?
Yeah, or you can take the 30 million.
Okay. So there's 30 people total that are blind.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the 30 million and I'm gonna go up to each blind person.
And give them $1 million?
No, because then I ain't got nothing. And I'm the benefit. Come on now. But I'm gonna give them all $500,000 and say, here you go. Do whatever you want to do.
I would sit here, and when I would do it, I would probably give them, like, I wouldn't say $500,000, but I would probably give them like 10,000. $500,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of shit in the media for that, Chris.
Well, who knows? I'm joking. No, I'd probably give them $500,000, but then also I'm gonna get shit. You gonna get shit from you saying, "Hey man, why you took the money? You can just have them see again."
Nah, man, because I'm gonna set up a foundation for every kid that's born with blindness for the rest of their life. That'll be my legacy. Okay, and we're going to make sure that the families, okay, that need to, one of the parents has to quit working or something like that because they got to stay home and take care of a blind child, is going to have the financial support that they need. Okay, we're going to have an outreach program where we can also get funding from the public. And so even after I'm long and gone, that thing is going. And so that's how you kind of counter that while taking care of those only 30 people in the world that are blind. It's a lot bigger than that, though, bro.
Yeah. I feel that. And I got another one. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather, or not would you rather, can you, say if you were single, can you date a woman with a shoe size of a 12 size shoe?
So, okay. All right. So that's what size I am. So first thing, I don't want anybody else wearing my J's but me. So as long as she promises not to wear my shoes. I do have a rule though. I can't date a woman that can kick my ass. So how big is this 12 size?
She's just a normal size woman, but she just got big ass feet.
So she's just a normal woman with skis as feet.
Yeah.
Water skis.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what happened?
What do you mean? I don't know. Just people just born with big ass feet.
I mean, okay.
I'm born with small feet for my height.
I mean, I guess if everything else proportionately is normal, then yeah. I mean, if I like her, that'd be kind of weird.
I don't think I can.
I don't know.
I wear a size 10.5.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about wearing your shoes, though.
Not even that, but when people come over, they're like, damn, bro, you got some big ass feet. Oh, these ain't mine, bro. This my girl's.
Oh man, I would really just kind of, I'd be totally consumed with like the science of it. I'd be like, how did this happen? Like you're 5'4", a buck, whatever, like normal, and then like you've got just these like ridiculously long feet.
Yeah,
I would need to understand it. It would probably drive me crazy. I don't think she'd keep me around, to be honest. Problem would probably solve itself.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. And I got one more before we move on to the next topic before we end it. So,
okay.
Would you rather date a woman that smokes weed or smoke weed all the time or drink all the time?
I mean,
but you got to choose.
I mean, in my life, I've experienced both.
Yeah.
And I would go with the drinking.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just can't be around somebody who just smells like weed and just chilling around, just like, yeah, man, what's going
on? I mean, I got a list of reasons why, but you have another topic. But the thing about the weed is what I've experienced with. Not everybody, man. I mean, I know a lot of people that know how to smoke and do it, however and everything. But sometimes some people get to a point where like they can't do anything without smoking first. Like it's
can't eat.
Yeah, can't go see a movie.
Yeah.
Can't go to the grocery store.
Yeah,
and it's like really like, and I just think, and again, I don't want to stereotype everybody because everybody manages their business differently. But in my life, I have dated both types, and you're asking me today, I would choose option B.
I'm going with Mimosa Mary too,
Yeah, Mimosa Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Not Mary Jane, Mimosa Mary.
Yeah, Mimosa Mary.
Gotcha.
Because she go out with her friends, have a little brunch session. She come back. How you think she gonna feel? So
well, I mean, yeah, that's a perk right there.
Yeah. So got a little bit of Mimosa Mary coming in, getting a little, feeling good. I don't,
Okay.
Why not?
Are there any places around here that serve mimosas?
Oh, Mimosa Mary.
Yeah.
And so that's when and before that, before we end it, I always end with the top 5. Like, what's your favorite movies? What's your favorite TV shows? Your favorite music? But this one, I'm going to do something different since me and you are both sports people.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your top 5. Like, if you can build the team, just offense only, and one team for defense. Like fantasy, you got to pick a team for defense.
We're doing football?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me your starting lineup, offense, and just pick a football team for the defense.
So, I mean, are we doing interior line positions too, or just?
No, just quarterback, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back, and team's defense.
Okay. Man, it's real hard to not take Pat at quarterback, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I just think that, when you see him do what he did, winning the Super Bowl after Tyreek Hill leaving in Tyreek Hill's box office, right? And so, I think I gotta take Pat.
Okay.
How many receivers do I get?
2.
Justin Jefferson for sure. Okay. I think Justin Jefferson's ability to, well, first of all, he's a clean route runner, but he also can go up and get anything.
Yeah.
And you're going to find out this year because he's got that rookie quarterback from Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you hate, but
I don't talk about that team.
I know, man. So give me JJ on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Over on the other, man, I'm going with CD. I really am. I'm going to go with my boy CD. I know you hate that, but I mean, there's Jamar Chase, but he battles some injuries. I like Tyreek, but I'm thinking about like the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'd go with CD. What was it? So running back?
Yeah.
We're gonna do running back
and tight end.
Man, running back is such an interesting position these days.
Yeah.
Let me come back to running back. On the tight end, if I'm guaranteed a healthy season, I really like the way George Kittle plays the game, man.
Okay.
Complete player, because you're gonna get catching, you're gonna get run after catch, and he's also an elite blocker.
Yeah.
He's also a dog.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I like that about him. Running back, man, who were the leading rushers in the league last year? I can't even think about it.
I think it was like
such a diminished position these days.
Yeah. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Give me another receiver.
All right, then. Go take a receiver.
So I would probably in that situation, I'd probably go ahead and go with Jamar Chase then.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right. My top 5, since I can't pick the same players you pick because you starting a team. Oh, defense.
Oh, defense. Oh, give me the Dallas Cowboys, man.
This guy.
That's right. You heard me.
So my quarterback, I would probably end up picking Josh Allen.
Okay.
Josh Allen's the stud. No. I take that back. Let me get my boy C.J. Stroud.
Oh,
from the Ohio State.
He did have a good year, but come on, man.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take Devontae Adams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a stud. Still going up there and get it. Yep. Still making incredible catches.
Can't argue that.
Another wide receiver. I'm going to go. Ooh, you took 2 of the best.
I got my running back. Give me Christian McCaffrey, man.
Damn.
Oh, you can take it.
Nah. I think for my other wide receiver, I'm going to go. You said CD.
You got AJ Brown. You got Stephon Diggs. You can have.
I want somebody.
You got Tyreek.
I want to take George Pickens.
What? For real?
I'm being serious.
Okay.
He just didn't have a quarterback. Anytime he got that ball thrown to him, he was making incredible catches. Wait till next year. You're gonna see.
All right.
And when he start balling out, I'm gonna text you. I'm like, look, I told you.
Okay. I mean, no, he's good, man. I mean, he's good. There's a lot of good receivers in the league now.
Yeah.
I mean, I AJ Brown, I'd probably go back and take over Jamar Chase if I'm being honest.
So. But those are big names that everybody's expecting me to pick, like Tyreek Hill and all of them. I just wanted to do something that no one's expecting, like still a solid receiver. That and then running back, Derrick Henry for sure.
Oh man, okay. See, I still think he's got some juice left.
Yeah,
I was just talking about him the other day about his milk consumption.
Oh yeah,
drinking like a gallon of milk a day.
Yeah.
Running through walls and shit.
That man's a beast. And tight end.
A lot of good tight ends too, man.
I hate to say this because he's from the Chiefs. I'll pick Travis Kelce.
I know. I thought about it.
Yeah, he's a stud.
No, he's good. Yeah. It's just him and the whole Taylor Swift thing. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm really not, but I am.
And the best defense I'm picking is the 49ers.
Okay, can't argue that.
That is mine. And
so hold up, but we do have to talk a little bit about music, man, because we used to listen to some things on the court, man. So I mean, what? Unless you had another topic, I apologize.
No.
All right, so current rap or old school rap?
I'm gonna go early 2000s, a little bit like mid 2000, early 2000, mid 2000s.
Okay.
Not right now, but yeah, I listen to like old school Wayne, Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, Dipset,
Yep.
stuff like that. Kanye, old school. Yeah, so I listen to those.
What city has the best rappers ever coming out of it?
I'm gonna probably say like New York.
You like New York?
Or
So
I like
Biggie,
West
Mace.
Nah, I like West Coast, but I'm more of a West Coast guy. Like I like the Snoop, Pop, a lot of underground, like Too Short, a lot of underground.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick,
yeah. Roddy, who is it? Roddy Ricch.
Mm-hmm.
But what about New Orleans, man? Come on now.
You only got Wayne.
You've got Cash Money and No Limit.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah,
okay.
I think Cash Money was bigger than No Limit, but yeah. But who do you listen to? Juvenile still? No.
I do, actually.
Never mind. Never mind. But yeah,
Atlanta. Atlanta's got some good
you got T.I., Jeezy, and all of that.
Yeah. Outkast.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know.
Okay.
Andre 3000 is weird to me now.
For real?
Yeah, playing the flute and shit.
He's always kind of been different.
Yeah, ever since he slept with Erykah Badu, I don't know what it is, but she turned brothers into something else. I know, stay away from that.
She lives around here.
Yeah, she went to Carter, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
He every once in a while, like I guess when he's in town, they have a kid together, right?
I think so.
You'll like see him at like World Market or something. Like there have been several Andre 3000 in Dallas sightings, just like out and about. But
yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay.
I'm more of an R&B guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the slow stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I still jam out to that. Like it's like nothing. And I like country.
Okay. Who do you like in country, man?
Morgan Wallen.
Okay, he's good.
Yeah. Zach Bryan, I think that's his name.
Zach Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Keith Urban.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're kind of all over the place on the country there. Yeah. You like Chris Stapleton?
He's all right.
He's all right?
Yeah.
He's in town this Saturday.
Yeah, he's all right. But a majority listen to Morgan Wallen though.
Morgan Wallen's popular right now.
Yeah, man.
That's Zach's boy. Zach loves Morgan Wallen.
Man, what that dude's man, I fuck with this music heavy.
Okay. All right. Never thought I'd hear you say that. Chicago Chris?
Yeah, man.
Shit.
But appreciate you coming on here,
man.
Andrew. That means a lot for me, just taking time out your busy schedule and stopping in and being on here, man.
Man, I had fun, man.
I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, catch us every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Thank you.